In this video, you will find out that how you can become a backend developer. What are the technology you have to learn from start to end? If you're a complete beginner, then you can consider following this particular roadmap, which will teach you every single thing which you have to know along the way of becoming a backend developer. So hope this video will help you. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so. With that, let me take you to the entire roadmap which you can follow step by step. But before we jump about the technology which you have to learn, let's talk about the salary, that what is the expected salary you can assume if you learn this technology, and how the different level of salary get assigned to a backend developer as per the experience. So let's talk about the salary. So this data which I'm sharing about the backend developer salary is the year of 2022, and you can see the different types of role, different types of level for the backend developer. So if you're a junior, you are just joining a company, then you can expect a salary of $70K. If you're an intermediate level of developer, then you can expect to 85. If you are a team manager and a backend developer, then you can expect to 120K. But if you're a senior backend developer, in that you can expect for 125, and this number can go up depending on your negotiation and your experience you have in the past. If you talk about the lead backend developer, then that is the high paying, like you will get 140K. Like freelance backend developer, so the amount you can see here is the average. So if you're a very good and if you have a reputation in the company, in any one of the marketplace, then you can earn more than that. So this is the expected salary you can assume to get master the backend development. Hope you guys have got a clear understanding that how much you will get once you will learn the technology. If that satisfied you, then let's move and talk about the technology which you have to acquire if you want to become a successful backend developer. So the very first thing you have to focus is that you have to know about the basics of front-end development, because when you're going to build the architecture, when you're going to design any form of data structure and you want to do the testing in the front end, so if you know little bit HTML, if you know little bit CSS, if you know JavaScript, this will help you a lot along the way of your backend development. So like in case in future you can become a full stack backend developer, and that will give you even more salary. So learn a little bit. I'm not telling you to be master in the front end development. Just try to get a good grasp of knowledge in HTML, CSS, 10%, and in JavaScript you have to be very good, because JavaScript is a global language. You can utilize this particular language in multiple places, in multiple framework, in multiple scenario. You can utilize that. So learn about the basics of front end. Once you're done with that, after that you have to move to a particular programming language, and here you have the list of the programming language which you can pick from. So my first priority is a JavaScript, because JavaScript is a global language you can use in the backend, you can use in the front end, you can use for building an application, you can use to build a data structure. So JavaScript is the most popular language, and right now 99% application you see on Google or internet, that's all use JavaScript. So JavaScript is really very popular, and I'm a blockchain developer myself, so I use JavaScript extensively in my DAV development, when I can communicate with the blockchain nodes, when I try to build any kind of software which allow me to trigger and transfer the funds. So all of things I do with the help of JavaScript. So JavaScript is absolutely a must for every front-end developer, for every back-end developer. You have to learn about the JavaScript. After that comes Python. So if you are interested in machine learning, building algorithm and robotics, so in that context, Python is a great choice for you. And it is very easy, and it's a beginner friendly, so you can easily able to start learning about Python. Then move to the PHP. PHP is little down, so right now I don't find many developers who work in the PHP, but still PHP is a good language if you consider to work on the WordPress kind of platform. Then PHP is a great choice. Then you have Ruby, you can consider that. We have Rust, so you can write the smart contract in Rust, or if you want to build an application, you can do that. Rust is a very light and fast programming language. So for example, that you are working as a blockchain developer, a smart contract developer, so you can use this Rust to writing the contract. So that's the advantage you have. And we have the Java. So if you want to build an applications like system operating system, or you want to build a mobile application, you can consider that, because it's a really fast, consider that, and it's a really powerful. But I would say that it's not beginner friendly. So if you are completely a beginner, you are just starting up, then JavaScript is going to be a nightmare for you if you start learning with the Java, because once you understand and get yourself familiar with any one of the programming language like Python or JavaScript, then it becomes very easy for you to move to Java. So if you are a complete beginner, I won't suggest you to follow Java. Just try to follow Python and JavaScript, and then move to the any other programming language. Then we have the Golang is also a programming language which you can consider, but right now it's not that popular. Very few companies are using. Google introduced particular language, so that's you can consider. So these are the couple of language you will have as a choice to pick and start learning. So here I want to give you two choice. I want to tell you to focus on JavaScript. That's your first priority. After that, you can focus on Python if you are considering your career in the way of data structure and machine learning. So this is the thing you have to keep in mind. So once you're done with the programming language, after that you have to move to the next one. Then choose a framework according to your programming language. So you need a framework to build an application, to design the data structure. So like right now, if we talk about the JavaScript, we have this framework. So here I'm totally focusing on the JavaScript because JavaScript is a global language and you can utilize it multiple places. Okay, so like here you have couple of choice. Like if you go with the JavaScript, you can focus on the JavaScript runtime. So you have to know that what is JavaScript runtime and what is Node.js, which you can use it to write backend code using Node.js, and that's a JavaScript. So pick a framework. Once you're done with the framework, after that you have to pick the popular framework for the Node.js. So if you talk about the popular frameworks which is available in Node.js are like Express.js, Nest.js, Fastly, Cell, Hip, Restly, Cole. So these are the couple of framework you have as a choice which you can pick. But most of the project you will find which are built on which are live, most of the project use Express.js for building the backend server. So make sure to get yourself familiar. So first learn about the JavaScript. Once you're done with the JavaScript, pick a Node.js. In Node.js you have to pick this Express, and you have this option as well. After the Express, you have to learn about the other framework as well, because at that point of time you will be good enough to understand the other framework. So these are the alternative you have. Like if you're picking up the Python, you have Django, you have Flash. If you're going with the PHP, you have the other option as well, like Symfony, Larva. So these are the options you have which you can go with if you're not picking the like Node.js. So if you come with that, the same thing with the Ruby and Java. So you can pick any one of this, but as I told you that you have to focus on the JavaScript. So once you master with that, you can consider these all frameworks. So let's move to the next. And here we have the Rust framework. So like you can go with the Rocket, you can go with the Golang, you can go with the Nets. So these are the options you have as a framework which you can pick to build your application. Now if we come up to the like backend concept you should learn. So these are the couple of things which you have to learn, because when you're going to design the backend, you have to know that how the user can make a request, how the connection between the client side and server side takes place, what are the problems can be occur. So understand about that. So learn about this HTTP and HTTPS, that what is the difference between these and what kind of role it plays when it's come to fetching the data and making a request. Learn about the REST. What is REST API? You have to learn about the GraphQL. You have to learn about the WebSocket. You have to learn about the cross, because when you're going to fetch the information from any remote server, and there is always a problem in the browser that there is cross origin error. So you have to know that how you can handle and how you can configure in your backend so it's not going to create any problem when someone will interact with your API or your backend server. So learn about the MVC architecture. So this one is a very important architecture you will find in backend development. So model view controller. So MVC stand for model view controller. So when you will design your API, you have to design in such a way which complies this particular MVC model. This one is the most popular model you will find in the industry, and most of the application use this one, but you can come up with your own. So once you become an advanced developer, then you can build your own entire model, but this one is the most common model you will find when you will work with the team. So you have to know about it. You have to learn about the CI and CD. You have to learn about the sliver. So these are the couple of things you have to know, and you have to clear a concept around. Once you're done with that, like here we have the serverless. So you have to learn about the serverless as well. So once you clear with that, move to the next one, and here you have to focus on the database, because when you will build your backend and you're going to design your data structure, and when the user will create a account or add any kind of information, you have to know that how you can store that information on the cloud storage, on a virtual machine. So and what kind of service provider we have. So if you talk about the database, like we have two type of database, like SQL and NoSQL. So if you want to go with the SQL, you can pick this MySQL, PostgreSQL, SQL, Slate, but the one I would recommend you is the NoSQL, and that one is very popular right now. So we have MongoDB is one of the most emerging technology which you can include in the backend development, and most of the companies really pay amazingly if you know about this. We have CacheDB, we have DynamoDB. So these are the things which you can consider. Okay, again I'm not going into details that what each one of this is. If you guys want me to make a complete tutorial or explain on any specific of topics, do let me know in the comment section, so I'll definitely make a video on that. So learn about the database. So these are the couple of options you have for both the data sets, like SQL and NoSQL. Once you're done with that, come back to the next one. I'll learn about caching. Caching plays a very important role when it's come to speed and performance optimization. So learn about this, that how caching exactly work in the backend development, how you can build that caching. So we have two ways, like we have learn caching, Redux, Machina, and when we have the ORM. Learn about that. What is this? Prisma is really very popular if you really want to make a data structure and store. We have Mongoose is also really very important. So you have to learn about this. What is ORM and ODM? So once you're done with that, move to the next one, and here you have to focus on the essential things to learning. So what are the things you have to learn here? Learn about authentication, because when you will work as a backend developer, you have to make your backend secure enough so the data the user will provide, it's secure. So learn about the authentication, that how authentication will take place. So there are multiple types of authentication we have. One is the client side authentication, and the other one is the server side authentications. So learn about this authentication process. Then we have the auth, learn about that. Then we have the hashing. So when you want to take any sensitive data from the user, how are you going to encrypt that and store in the database? So when someone try to hack, if someone hacked your database, they're still not able to find the passwords and the sensitive data about the credit card information in the server side. So in that way you can secure. So learn about that. Learn about the rate limit. So what happens sometimes that the user make too many API requests, and that's slow down your server. So understand that how it's work, how you're going to control that, how going to restrict the user based on the rate limits. Learn about the reverse proxy. Learn about the load balancer. Learn about the documentation. So these are the couple of things you have to learn. These are the very important things when it's come to be a backend developer. So once you're done with that, after that you have to move to the template engine. So right now we have a lot of template engine which you can consider, but the most popular one we have is the Pug, and I really like Pug because it's very easy to grasp, and you can easily able to generate the HTML code from the backend and you can inject in the front end. So learn about any one of this template engine, like you can go with the JES, or the one I would recommend you is the Pug, which is very easy. So learn about this template engine. Once you're done with that, after that you have to move to the other important topics. So what are the things you have to keep in mind? So you can also learn about the Linux, that how it's work, how you're going to interact, how you can create the virtual machine. So all of this you have to consider. Then you have to learn about the terminal, that how you're going to interact with the terminal, with the backend server, how you're going to write certain commands which can run inside the terminal. So learn about the terminal operation. Learn about Git. Git is really very important when you're going to work with the team, when you're going to store your code. So how you can do that. So learn about Git. After that, learn about the basic networking, that how networking work. Learn about the architecture. I'm not telling you to be master in that, but at least focus that how the networking work. So you can easily able to improve the performance of the application, because sometimes what happens that when the user will make a request and some certain queries, certain data sets take a little bit time, so you can easily able to monitor and build a logic around that, so the performance of the application will optimize. So learn about networking, learn about the web security, that how you can prevent any kind of hack. So that right now we have a lot of bots keep running on the browser. So how you can prevent those bots to get access of your data. So learn about that one. Learn about the payment gateways, that how you can integrate payment gateways. Like right now we have multiple payment gateway. If you talk about the Stripe, PayPal, so there is a two type of integration we have in the application. One in the backend and other one is the front end. So you have to learn that how you can integrate both the one. So if you go with the front end, there is a risk of fraud, but if you go with the backend, there is that one is a more secure. Learn about the testing, that how you're going to test these application, test this multiple features you have built. So learn about these basic things. Once you master that, then learn about that how you can deploy the application. For example, that you are learning and you have built any application or any software and you want to show and you want to make it live on internet so other can have a look on your project, so you can include in your resume. So learn about these technology. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. So you can go with the Google Cloud, which is little expensive for a newbie. You can take this DigitalOcean, that's really very cheap. You can easily able to host your entire application, entire backend in just a $5 a month. That's the basic plan they have. So learn about the DigitalOcean. You can go with the AWS, but that one is really expensive. You can go with the Azure. I have never used that. Heroku is also very popular. Earlier it was free, but now they're charging money if you really want to use their platform. Then we have a Leonardo, then we have Vercel. Vercel is really easy and it's free to use, which you can consider. So these are the couple of deployment tools, software you have, which you can consider to include, and you have to know about it, that how you can interact. So once you know about any one of, like if you're good with the digital automation, you can easily able to manage with other one. Let's come to the next one, and here we have the optional things to learn. So like you can learn about the Docker is a really very important concept. Sometime what happened that you have to build any visual feature or any kind of product you are software you are building, so you can easily to design the entire Docker as per the requirement, as per the use case of your application. Learn about the performance, learn about the scalability, learn about the Carbonate. So these are the couple of things which you can consider, but I would say that learn about Docker. This one is very popular and most of the companies want a Docker developer. So if you be good in that, it will become very easy for you. So learn about this. After that, move to the next one, tools to learn as a backend developer. So what are the things you have to learn? Tool to learn as a backend developer. So here you have a couple of options. Number one is my all-time favorite is npm, which is very easy. Then we have yarn, and once you will build any kind of backend tools, backend software, you can use Postman to test that. So you don't have any front end and you want to test that, you can easily able to make all the requests right inside the Postman and you will have the entire data. So Postman is a really great tool which you can definitely check that out. And I have a complete backend development course, so make sure to follow that. That will teach you every single thing about the backend development, where we have built the NFT marketplace backend from start to end. We have used MongoDB as a backend server. We have used Express. We have used like authentications, login, logout feature, payment gateway. All of things we have included in that. So make sure to check that. After that, we have the GitHub. GitHub is really powerful, and you have to know if you are a developer, then you have to use, no matter what kind of developer you are, front end, back end, or a blockchain developer, you have to know GitHub. So once you learn about this tool, after that you have to move to the project, because if you don't build project, you will not learn anything. So these are the couple of options you have to build as a complete beginner, and these are the very beginner friendly application which you can include in your portfolio. So first thing is social media web app, and in that you will learn about the data structure, that how you're going to design multiple data sets as per the like comment, post, user authentication, group, chat. So many data sets we have here. So it's going to give you a good test for your skills, the thing you have learned about the backend, and you're going to build the entire backend structure using this. So you can build for a social media, you can build for a chat application, you can build for a video chat app, you can build for the REST API. So you can simply build a REST API where you can allow user to fetch certain information. You can build a Amazon Scrapper API, you can build a web scrapper, you can build a URL shortener, you can build a crowd block apps. So these are the couple of ideas you can pick to build on. Okay, so now we have a couple of more projects, like you can build a Discord clone, and you can use the WebRTC. So I hope you guys know that what is WebRTC. If you know, then do let me know in the comment section. Let's see how many of you know that what is WebRTC. It's really very easy, and you have to know that when you are working with the chat. So learn about this Discord clone, learn about that how you can build a traveling log app, like file sharing app, user system, multiplayer game, gets clone, weather logger, and e-commerce API. So these are the couple of things which you can consider in your project. I believe that you guys have understood that what you have to follow and what are the technology you have to learn. I'm not telling you that you have to master in each one of this. All you have to do is to pick one programming language in each one of the sections. So like you can see that first learn about the backend, like basic of front-end development. After that, focus on JavaScript. I would not suggest you to learn about the Python. I would suggest you focus on JavaScript. Once you master with JavaScript, after that learn about the JavaScript runtime and Node.js. Once you're done with that, after that you can pick Express, not anything else. Okay, just pick Express. After that, just ignore this Python, PHP, and Ruby, Java, because these are the advanced one. I don't want you to get confused when you start, and you can skip this part as well, Rust, Go, and Net. And here you have to learn about this HTTP request, GraphQL, and all of this, because these are the important, and you're going to use extensively when you will work in the API development. So learn about the database. So here I will focus you to learn about the NoSQL. I will not tell you to focus on the SQL. Focus on the NoSQL, like MongoDB. Learn only MongoDB, just ignore the other one. Once you learn with the MongoDB, learn about the little bit caching. I'm not telling you to be master in that. Learn about the Mongoose, learn about the ORM, like Mongoose, Once you're done with that, learn about the essentials of these all. Like these all are important because when you're going to build the API or you're going to interact with that, so learn about all of this. And here I would say you to learn about the pug, then learn about the terminal, learn about Git, learn about the basic networking, learn about the web security, payment gateway, and testing. Just you can ignore the Linux part, but you can learn all of this. Once you're done with that, here I would say you learn about the like DigitalOcean, or you can focus on Verso. So these are the two things you can focus. I won't tell you to focus on the Heroku because no longer it's a free version. So focus on DigitalOcean. That's good enough. After that, you have to focus on Docker. Don't pick any one of these. And here you have to focus on npm. You can simply ignore yarn. You can focus on the Postman and GitHub. So these three things: npm, Postman, and GitHub. Now once you're done with that, here I would say that build a social media web application, because that's going to be a challenging one. Or you can build a complete NFT marketplace API, which we have on the channel, that will give you a really good test. And here in this, I would say that build let's say URL shortener or like e-commerce API, that is also good. So this is what you have to follow. So if you try to start now, it won't take 4 to 5 months to become master in all of this, and you will become a pro developer. Trust me. If you give 5 hours every single day, and if you study hard, if you try to understand every single concept, build project, then it won't take you 4 months to learn everything. Just learn, focus on the programming language, focus on JavaScript, and give 2 months at least. Once you understand every single thing in JavaScript, your life would be very easy and you will become a amazing developer, because the rest would be very easy for you. Like all you have to do is to focus on JavaScript, and after that the entire development becomes very easy for you, because we are focusing on the JavaScript backend development. Okay, so focus on that. So hope you guys have got an idea that how you have to start and what are things you have to learn. So if you guys have any confusion, any doubt, do let me know in the comment section. I'll try to help in that. And that's the only thing I want to cover here in this video. So if that video helped you, do like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section that this particular backend roadmap is good and I'm going to follow. So with that, I'm ending this video. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.